Right, hi, my name is Kweku Kumi of Let's Learn Akan Twi. And on this channel, we are into the, learning, we are into the reading, writing, we're into the speaking of, the Akan Twi language. And so if you want to learn how to write the Twi language, if you want to learn how to read a Twi language, just subscribe to our channel and watch us live this and every Wednesday, 12 midnight Ghana time, and we will help you solve all your problems. Anything related to the Akan Twi language, we will help you out with it. Today I'm talking about the vowels, the Akan Twi vowels. Today we are looking at some, introduction to the vowels. And the key thing, what I want you to note here is to be able to, write and produce these vowel sounds correctly. You should be able to write, or you should be able to say them correctly. That is the essence of this lesson. Right, so pay particular attention to this lesson because vowels play an important role in the studying of any language. It is the base. Yeah, vowels are the one of the basis of learning any language. And so I'll be very happy if you pay particular attention to this lesson. A vowel is a voiced sound that is produced without, any obstruction in the vocal tract. When I talk about any obstruction, I mean, there is no blockage. When you alter the vowel sound, there is a free flow of air from the lungs through to the mouth, without any blockage. None of the, organs of speech blocks it in anywhere. And there is a free flow, as I said earlier on. You can stretch even the sounds. For instance, if you are saying ah, you can just stretch it and say it for a very long time. Ah, e, o. You can produce these vowels as long as you can, provided you have the support breath. And so basically these are the difference between vowels and consonants. While vowel, there is a free flow of the sound coming from the lungs. With consonants there is some kind of blockage, which I'll get to that later on, but let's first focus on the vowels. Right, generally there are 10 phonetic vowel sounds in the Akan Twi language, but in writing we have 7 of them. 3 sounds, that is e, a, and o, has 2 variants, and so these sounds, a, and o, produces 2 different sounds each. This produces the a and the a sound. This one, the a, and the a sound, and o produces the o and the o sound. And so, as I said earlier on, in pronunciation we have 10 vowels, but in writing there are only 7. And the vowel sounds are classified according to the extent to which the tongue is raised. Part of the tongue that is raised. Lip posture is also another criterion in classifying the vowels, whether the lip is spread or rounded. And finally, the advancement of the tongue root, popularly called ATR, advanced tongue root, is also another criterion in categorizing the vowels, and so we'll look at that in some lessons, but let's quickly look at the vowel sounds we have in Akan Twi. As I said earlier on, in writing we have 7, but in pronunciation there are 10. So we have the I, we have the E, and this sound has 2 variants, the E and the E sound. Then we have the E. We have A. A also has 2 variants. This I don't even really know how to write it well, but this is how we write it. And A. We have O. We have O. O also has 2 variants, O and O. And finally we have the U sound. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But in pronunciation there are 10, because the A, the A, and the O sound give us 2 different sounds altogether. Okay, so let's go over one more time to see how they are written and produced. This is I. You say after me, I. E. 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 Note the difference between these 2 sounds. One is more advanced and one is unadvanced. This is E, unadvanced, and this is E, more advanced. So note the pronunciation of this sound. It has 2 different pronunciations, E and E. This is E, and this sound also has 2 variants. We have E and A. We have O. This one also has 2 variants, O and O. O and O. O is more advanced and O is unadvanced. Then finally we have U. So I hope you can produce them. That is the essence of this lesson. Try as much as you can to know the pronunciations of all these vowel sounds and also the writing system, so that wherever you meet these sounds in your speech or in your writings, you can be able to identify them. Okay, now let me go over these 3 sounds so that after that you look at all the 10 phonetic sounds in word examples. Now we will first look at this sound. This sound is produced as E or E. Note the pronunciation, E. This is E. E as in sit. E. In Twi we say ketewa. Ketewa, the meaning of ketewa is small. Ketewa. Ketewa. E. E. And this sound is E. 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 So note the difference. E as in efie, house. Efie. So just note the difference in pronunciation. But also note that in writing, both E and E are written as this. Both E and E are written as this in the writing system. Right, we also have this sound. This sound is produced as A or in certain environments produced as e. Like this one in the pronunciation, it's produced as a or e in certain context. But in the writing system, you only see the symbol, this one. So note that this this sound is produced. This one is produced as in anka, anka. Anka is orange, or as in ama, ama. Ama is a name of a lady or a girl or somebody born on Saturday, right? And this one is also produced as e, as in any, ejuma, ejuma. But as I said earlier on, in the writing system, it is written like this. So note that. And finally, we have also this sound produced as o in certain context, and in certain environment is produced as o. So o and o as in koto, to squat, and o as in akoto, to give someone a knock. I love giving these examples because they are similar words. It sounds similar. Yes, the o and the o sound. We have o as in sotro, slap, and o as in foforo, new. So note the pronunciations. O. So that's it. Right, so let's pick the vowels one after the other and see how we can identify them in word examples, how we can see them wherever they appear in morphemes or in words or sentences or utterances. So let's start with this. E. This is E, as in D, to eat. E, D, D, D. We also have another word, C, C, to descend, or better still, to wash. E, C. Just note the pronunciation. We have biribi, biribi, E, biribi. We actually pronounce it as bibi, something, biribi, something. We have esi, chire, as in sugar, esi, chire, esi, chire. Sika, money, sika, money, sika. Die, believe, to believe. G, D, A, G, D, A, G, D. So try and give more examples on your own and see if you can pronounce this vowel correctly. It's actually E. E. And as I always say, note the difference between E and E. Right? So let's move on to the next vowel. The next vowel is A. And as I keep saying, this has two variants. A and A. So let's start with this A. as in se, to sharpen, se. I told you with e, this is si, to wash or to descend, si, and this is se, se, as to sharpen, ke, te, wa, e. This is the pronunciation, how we pronounce it, the phonetic writing. But this is how we actually write it in the orthography. So note that ke, te, wa. So even though this is produced as a, it is written as this. Note that ke, te, wa, small. J, 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 to receive. J, j, te, as to hear. Te, te, to hear. Serie, 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 laughter. Serie, laughter. So note the sound e. Serie, laughter. And the last example I'll give you, abetie. Abetie. Abetie is a kind of food we eat here in Ghana. Some people also call it kunkunte. Abetie. I just want you to know the e sound. Right, let's move on to the next variant, which is a, as in a fie, house. A fie, a fie, a fie, efidie, efidie, as in trap, trap, or a machine. Mfi, fire, mfifre, as in sweat, to sweat. Mfifre, ewirefre, ewirefre, as in forgetfulness. Ewirefre. Say, 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 now. Say, say. Dede, noise. Dede, dede kwa. I know someone with the name Dede kwa. Dede, noise. E, dede, noise. So that's the second vowel for you. Let's move on to the next vowel, which is the e sound. I hope you can write and produce it. E. This is the e sound, as in kete. Kete is mat. Kete. Che. Die, che, die. Che die is knock. Che die, knock. Ferie. Ferie, shyness. Ferie, shyness. Just know the pronunciation and how we write these sounds. Kesie. Kesie is big or large. Kesie. Apple. Apple. Apple is the C. Apple. Apple. Emo. Emo. Emo is rice. Emo. Ache. dear, ache, dear. Ache dear is a gift. So try giving more examples on your own, and you'll be perfect in, speaking and writing this language. Right, so the next sound is this one, ah. And as you likely know, this sound also has two variants, ah. And ah. Some people call this abodamfo, but it's a variant of this ah. And note the pronunciations. This is ah and this is eh. Right? This is different from this eh. It's different from this eh. This is more fronted than this. And this one is also, emphasis, more closed than this. You will get to that later, but let's just note the differences between this ah and eh. So ah as in anka, orange, anka, abua, abua, as in animal, aba, ba, as in cane, ba, da, as to sleep, da, and we have da, never. Note the difference between the tone. This is a high tone, da, to sleep, and da, never. So note the difference, but I just want you to know this ah sound. We also have tone differences. Tone is also one of the crucial areas we have to look at in the Akan Twi language. It's very dominant, and the Twi language is a tonal language, and so we will discuss tones also later on. But note this: papa, papa is father, papa is good, and papa is fun. But you see, in writing they are written the same, but there are tone differences. So in case we don't have any tone on it, it will be very difficult for you to produce them or note the difference, since whether it's father or whether it's good or it's fun. But in Akan we base the meaning also on context. Where these words find themselves is what we are going to give meanings to these words. For instance, if some of these words find themselves with, let's say, parenting, then definitely you should know that it's papa, not good papa or papa. When you are talking in terms of heat, fun, and the rest in utterances, then probably it's this, papa, not papa. So as I said earlier, we will discuss tones later, but just note this sound, ah sound. Note the difference between this ah and eh sound. Now let's move to this eh. As in any. Any is I, ni. And we also have juma. Juma. It's another example. Juma. Juma, as in occupation. We have kwesi. Kwesi is a male child born on Sunday, say a name given to a boy who was born on Sunday. So si. We don't say kwasi. When someone say kwasi, what you tell the person is that maybe he's not a native speaker of this language. That's why he's saying kwasi. But actually we say si. We are using this variant of a. Si. The same thing applies to kweku. We don't say kwaku, kweku. We have duane. Duane. And there is a principle in the language called advanced tongue root harmony, technically called ATR. That is what people call advanced tongue root. You see, some of the vowels are more advanced than the others. When we get to the classification of vowels, I will teach you that. But with vowels are grouped into two, based on its advancement or unadvanced advancement. So let's look at advanced vowel plus ATR. They are E, A, O, and U. And A, this A. And minus ATR. Minus ATR, we have E. We have O. O. And we have A. So anytime you have an ATR vowel, the rest of the vowels that follow should be plus ATR. Anytime you have minus ATR, the rest of the vowels should be minus ATR. Even though there are restrictions. R, for instance, is problematic. But basically, that is the rule. You see, these two do not crisscross each other. When you are using advanced, minus advanced, minus advanced. So note that I'll get to that later. So just note the pronunciations of each of the vowels and how they are written. Now the next sound is U, as in fu, fuo, fu, fuo. Fufu is a kind of food we eat here in Ghana. So just note the sound U, fu, fuo. Another word is bu, fuo, bu, u, fuo, bu, fuo. And remember, I didn't say abufuo. I've told you this sound, we have two variants. And whenever the next vowel following the consonant after this vowel is any of the plus ATR advanced tongue root, then we go for A. So this is plus advanced tongue root. So bu, fuo. Right? We have edu, u as in 10. Edu as in 10. U. Owuo, owuo as in death. U, owuo. We have ekuro, ekukuro as in town. Ekuro or ekuo, ekuo as in organization. There are so many examples we can give, but because of time, let's move on. I just want you to know the pronunciations of each of the sounds. Now let's move on to the next sound, which is O. O. With O, we also have two variants. We have O and O. O is more advanced and O is unadvanced. Right, so we have O Fori. O Fori is a name here in Ghana. O Fori. O Poku. Opoku. Opoku is also a name of someone here. I know a guy called Opoku. He was my classmate, when I was a kid. Opoku. So this is O, U. So in order to also learn the vowel sounds, you can sometimes ignore the consonants. When you see a word, try ignoring the consonants and produce the vowels, as in O, O, I, O, Fori, O, O, I, O, Poku. You can say O, O, U. Yes, you are just learning how to produce the vowels, and I think this is one of the best ways you can learn the vowels. We also have Kuku. Kuku. Kuku is a fruit tree, one of the popular fruit trees in Ghana. Kuku. Eduro. O, eduro. O, nipa. O, nipa. As in man. This is the singular for man. O, nipa. The plural is something like this. Nipa. And this is the singular. O, nipa. But we actually elite this one in the pronunciation and just say nipa for both singular and plural. But actually this is the singular for a man or a person. O, nipa. Now let's move on to the next variant, which is the O. This is O and this is O. As in bo. Bo. To beat somebody. Bo. Fo. O. To climb. To climb a tree, or let's say to climb a building or somebody. Fo. Fo diano. We have so. So. So means to bear fruit, or maybe on top of something. So we have fofro. O, fofro. As in new. Fofro. And in fact, you can give some examples for yourselves. All right, try giving more examples for yourself, and that will help you in learning and becoming perfect in the language. And the last vowel sound I'll talk about is the O sound. O. This O sound. As in ko. To go. Ko. Owo. Owo. As in snake. Owo. O. Brodie. Bro. O. Brodie. Brodie as in plantain. O. O. Do. As to weed or to laugh. Do. Do. So look for the rest of the examples for yourself. But as I said, note all the pronunciations. Note all the pronunciations. Note the pronunciations and writings. So we have I, we have E, which is produced as E or E. We have E. We have A, which is produced as this A or this A. We have O. We have O, which is also produced as O or O. Then finally, we have U. So these are the vowels we have in the Akan Twi language. Let me go over again for the last time. I, E, 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 A, E, O, 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 and U. So these are the vowel sounds we have in the Akan Twi language. So try producing them for yourself. If you have any challenges or if you have any problem, just let me know down in the comment section below. Or I have a link down in the description box. If you want, maybe if you want to get in touch for some one-on-one, some one-on-one consultations, then check the links in the description box. But other than that, just keep practicing the vowel sounds, keep practicing the consonant sounds, and all the sounds of the Akan Twi alphabet. And definitely you can teach somebody how to read and write this language. My name is Kumi. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. See you in another video.